elected in November 2015 as the 47th Auditor of Public Accounts. Prior to being elected as auditor, Mike served in the Kentucky House of Representatives for 13 years, representing the people of Boyle and Casey counties and previously Washington County in the 54th District. Last November, he was elected to a second term as a state auditor. He is a graduate of Eastern Kentucky University with degrees in math and statistics and theater, and was also a valedictorian in Boyle County High School class. He has been married to his wife Lynn for 25 years, and he has two daughters, Tori and Lizzie. Thank you for Mike Harmon being here. Welcome.
How's everybody doing? All right, y'all enjoying this conference? Some exciting times. Good to see so many of my friends, old and new. See the Boyle County crowd over there. We appreciate them. It's always good being here, and certainly thank you all for inviting me back. I'm always pleased, and certainly I'm pleased that the taxpayers we all represent have given my administration another term to work with you in bringing good government to all corners of the Commonwealth. Of course, it's great to see everyone here today. As I said, our office is committed to being a resource for you as much as we can without impairing our ability to audit. So I always tell all of you, if you got any questions or you got any concerns, kind of like Judge Turner, he has plenty of questions. I'm kidding. But we are so excited to be here. And those of you who know me know I always like to cut up a little bit. And I always like to tell a few jokes just to because we deal with a lot of serious issues. And be honest with you, I don't know if you all realize this. Now, this is actually true. I am now the oldest currently serving constitutional officer. I am 53, and the very next closest constitutional officer is Michael Adams at 43, and the governor at 42. So I am 10 years older than the next closest. So, I kind of got feeling down a little bit the other day, and I was looking in the mirror, and my wife was there, my wife Lynn, and I turned to her and said, I look so old and so tired. I could really use a compliment to kind of bolster myself. And she looked right at me and she said, well, at least your eyesight's still good. So I don't know, but I have to work on that just a little bit. But like I said, I always like to joke a little bit because, a lot of things we deal with are pretty serious at times. We're blessed to be able to serve the public. We're blessed to be the servants, but some of the things we deal with, they can get you down if they let it. So a good joke every now and then to kind of pep us up and get us back on track, to me, I always think's important. And certainly we understand that, given the increased cost and pensions, both for us and for you all, sometimes we need a little bolster. We want to make sure that every dollar counts for our counties. And certainly, I acknowledge that some of the counties may have inherited some audit bills if you're relatively new. And so we in the auditor's office want to try to do everything we can to help alleviate that burden to the best of our ability. And because of that, and we had worked over the years, since I took office in January of 2016, we've worked with the General Assembly. As it was mentioned, I served 13 years in the Kentucky General Assembly before being elected to auditor. And so we worked with the General Assembly to bring about greater transparency and accountability, while at the same time doing what we can to try to help you all and be good stewards of the taxpayer funds and save money on your all's audits. And one of the things that we did, we worked with them on a good piece of legislation that we helped pass during the 2018 session of the Kentucky General Assembly was Senate Bill 144. Some of you all may have remembered because we've talked about it in some of the others. But it basically created the option for allowing your sheriffs and your county clerks the opportunity, if you had a clean audit, to apply for an AUP engagement instead of the full financial statement audit. Now, Senate Bill 144 became law in 2018,
And it allows us to conduct, as I said, an AUP engagement for your county clerks and your sheriff offices who have a good prior track record of performance. Now, the ideal was that it would both save counties money, but it also allow us to operate more efficiently by spending less time on low-risk audits, which we felt like was important. Everybody's trying to prioritize their individuals, their workforce. And so it also offers an incentive to sheriffs and clerks who may only have one finding to address the issue, so they could be eligible for the cost savings of an AUP perhaps could bring to the county. Now, to be eligible for an AUP rather than the full financial statement audit, the clerk or the sheriff must have no reported comments. Now, sometimes we'll have comments that are, basically kind of an in-house comments and things to kind of work on, but no reported comments or the findings in their last audit. And basically, they've got to be considered a low-risk auditee. Now, initially, when we pushed for the legislation to allow AUPs for local sheriffs and county clerks, initially we'd kind of looked at some conservative estimates, and we figured initially it'd probably save our sheriffs and our county clerks somewhere around 25 to 50% compared to a regular audit. And we did that intentionally. We did intentionally want to be conservative. Well, I'm here to tell you today that those numbers are much better than even that. Based on our first year of AUPs, the cost savings for sheriffs and county clerks have exceeded 60% on the cost. To give you an idea, the average cost reduction for county clerks who applied for and received an AUP in 2018 compared to that full financial statement audit is about 62%. Okay? Now that equals out to an average dollar savings of about $5,600 for clerks versus what they had paid previously in the 2017 year. Now, as for our sheriffs, those who applied for it received an AUP in 2018 saw an average cost reduction of 67%. And times the type, that's good, compared to the cost of a full financial statement audit in the previous year. Now, the average dollar saving for AUPs compared to the odds for sheriffs is more than $6,700. Every dollar helps. Now, these numbers are based on 42 of 45 county clerks who received an AUP during the 2018 compared to the financial audit they received in 2017, and 16 of 19 county sheriffs who applied for and were approved for the AUP in 2018 that had an audit the year before. Now, the other 6 AUPs, the 3 for the county clerks and the 3 for the sheriffs, we'll complete those very soon, so we could actually see those averages improve even more. Now, the AUPs have proven to be extremely cost-effective to our counties, while at the same time holding both our sheriffs and our county clerks still to a very high level of transparency. And another plus for the AUP law is, as I mentioned earlier, that it offers kind of an incentive to your sheriffs and your county clerks who may have only had one finding. You know, a lot of times, sometimes we'll have a finding of a lack of segregation of duties or something. It provides them an incentive to kind of work on identifying and improving those so that they can eventually apply for and save that money. And I always like, sometimes I'll take a break when I see people, you know, intently look and just kind of break it up, tell another little joke. And talking about that lack of segregation of duties, you know, I wrote a joke one time for our auditors, and if you've ever had that, you'll kind of understand. But did you hear about the auditor that was really concerned about his pet dog? He was using the bathroom in the exact same place, so he was concerned about lack of segregation of duties. Okay, I'm sorry. That one was bad. I should have just kept going. I should have just kept going. Now, there's a few exceptions to being able to apply for that law. Thank you for the one person in the audience that laughed. I've got a million of them. None of them are good, but I've got a million of them. Now, there are a few exceptions. Elected sheriff or county clerk, well, you've got to go through the first year of a financial statement. County clerk or sheriff, and you set out a term or whatever and came back and were reelected, came back, within that first year, you would still have to do a regular full financial statement audit. Also, the auditor's office also, we still retain the discretion to perform a full financial statement audit rather than an AUP if there's risk factors that we've identified, such as fraud allegations or anything else. And we anticipate that certainly we at the office would like to do a full financial statement audit at least once every 4 years, just to make sure it's a good checkup. Now, also local fiscal courts, as many of you know, sorry, Judge Hunt, are not eligible for the AUPs, primarily because most of your fiscal courts carry debt. And if you carry debt, then most of the time they're going to want you to have a full financial statement audit. But given that some counties are struggling financially, anything that our office can do to help mitigate some of those expenses is certainly a responsible thing to do, both for the taxpayers and for you all, the counties. And certainly I do want to acknowledge the Kentucky Association of Counties, the Kentucky Sheriff's Association, and the Kentucky County Clerks Association for the work in bringing this AUP law to fruition. We all work together getting this taken care of. In addition to the bill's sponsor, Senator Stan Humphreys, who many of you all know, who is also a former county judge executive. Now, the mantra of my office has always been, since I came in the very first day, that we don't target anyone, we don't give anyone a pass, we just simply follow the data. So kind of our mantra is, we just follow the data. And as you have seen, based on this particular piece of legislation, if you go back and look at the vote, it was a very bipartisan vote. So that we've always kind of carried that, like I said, we just follow the data. But our door is always open. If you have concerns, if you have questions, certainly please let us know. Many of our ideals that we have worked on to try to benefit the counties has actually come from someone in the counties, whether it's a jailer or whether it's a sheriff or a county clerk or the fiscal court. Many of those come from you all. So our door is always open. Now, I do encourage you to follow our work at the office at auditor.ky.gov and by following us on social media on pages of Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and certainly YouTube. And again, thank you all for allowing me to come here and speak today. I think it's always productive when we have an opportunity to have a conversation, and we certainly have worked hard to try to help all levels of government be more efficient, more effective, and more ethical. Now, I'm about ready to wrap up, but when I'm done, we're going to step outside for just a little bit. We're going to have myself and some staff here, maybe for a few minutes, and if for some reason, if you all have any questions before we slip off, please come out, ask those questions, and if not, if for some reason, if you miss us, please, like I said, please be sure to reach out. I see somebody nodding, like we better go out and talk to them, but please be sure to reach out to us. And once again, thank you all. God bless. Have a great day.
Take care, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate
Look forward
you.
to working with you.